All right, so the first video is out there. I think that was probably the most nerve-wracking thing I could have done with this process. So now that it's out there and I've got views, I think I've settled down a little bit more and I can start talking about the things that I think are a little bit more important. Like gear. Gear is important. I think anybody who hikes and backpacks will find this to be true. And as I've stated, I sold a lot of the things that I had off. So I'm kind of starting from a very even baseline. So one of the things that I wanted to really to buy first was a tent. And instead of asking for suggestions on a tent, I kind of just had my mind set on one tent. My last tent was a Nemo Dagger 2-person. I actually really liked that tent. It packed down very well. It fit my old pack very well. It was roomy. But I found the setup to be a little more difficult than originally planned, and it was a little. The vegetables were huge. I like that. I did. I'm not gonna lie, but it just covered a lot of space. So on my last backpacking trip that I can remember, I ended up getting backwards and turned around, and I'm not gonna lie, I ended up having to set up in the middle of a trail because there was no space on either side of the trail to even set up anywhere. Like, it was, if you were at where I was at, and it was near Apple Orchard Falls, if you were there, you would understand what I was saying. I ended up having to set up in the middle of this trail, and it was kind of a pain. So when I sold that tent off, I kind of thought to myself, when I go to buy another tent, I know what tent I think I'm going to get. So a few months ago, I bought the tent. A big Agnes Copper Spur UL2. I'm not actually sure what model it is, but it's popular tent. It's a Copper Spur, and I've set it up a couple times now, and it is exactly what I thought it was going to be. So this is the tent I'm going to be using. I'm very happy, and unlike some people who spend like $700 on this tent, I got this tent for actually $300. Very happy with this purchase. So this is the tent I'm going to be using. Ta-da! So that's number one. I was so happy I was able to find this tent at a decent price. I've laid down in it, not like camping or anything like that. But it also comes very highly recommended by a friend of mine. And luckily, I have an old footprint from like my very first one-person tent that I bought back in 2018. It's an mountaineering tent. This thing weighs like 3 ounces. I'm not gonna lie, and it fits perfectly with this. So this very large one-person footprint fits almost perfectly with this 2-person hiking tent. So I'm just gonna use this until I can find something better, or someone can recommend something better. I think this is perfect. And that brings me over to the next thing that I purchased actually afterwards. I've had a couple of these now. I've always been a fan. I got a Jetboil right here. I did have fuel for it, but a couple weeks ago our power went out here in my apartment, and I am a coffeeholic. And I had to find a way to make coffee. So I boiled water in this, and I poured it in my French press with some Death Wish coffee. And if you guys don't have Death Wish, you're doing it wrong. Just gonna let you know. And I just had to have coffee. So it came in very handy. But I have a Jetboil here, and my plan is to use this one. But there is a possibility that I might end up buying another one. So there we go. I've already started with gear. The tent to me was actually the big priority, because I have to find a tent that's going to fit for me. I'm a big dude. Even as I shrink down in body size this way, I'm still big this way. I'm 6'2". And I have broad shoulders, and wide hips. So no matter what, I'm gonna need something that's gonna be able to fit me. This tent barely fits me, and I'm fine with that. So now I've got to find a sleeping pad that's gonna fit what I want. I want something that's gonna be something that's gonna pack down really tight and really small. And I would prefer something that was under a pound. I did have, I can't remember, but it was a pound. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Well, anyway, it was a pound, but it was bulky. I didn't like it. And it was very uncomfortable, actually. So I'm looking for something a little bit different. There's a couple big Agnes ones I'm looking at, and there's actually a couple Nemo ones I'm looking at too. Sea to Summit, I have no experience with Sea to Summit anything, to tell the absolute truth. And I've had a couple people tell me, look at Sea to Summit. So I'm going to look at that. Osprey packs is what I'm really looking at. My first hiking pack, 2016 beyond, was a Volt 60. I absolutely love that pack. But they had actually discontinued with the Volt series. I have currently a Rook 65. It doesn't suit my needs. I keep meaning to post it online. Right now, I just started a new bank account, so I'm probably going to end up putting it on there. I have a new Venmo. I just started a Venmo account for the first time. I've got a PayPal. I'm just going to have to start really being a little bit more proactive. But I'm going to be selling this. I've only ever really worn it around my apartment complex. It doesn't suit my needs. I want a front pocket. There's no front pocket to it. It just doesn't feel right to me. Osprey's come back with the Volt series, and now they have a Volt 65, and it has a front pocket to it. So, ta-da! I do have hiking poles. They're Lecky. They came very highly recommended by a friend of mine who has hiked the Appalachian Trail twice. So, and I just don't actually have those around me right now. They are in my living room. I'm in my bedroom. As you can tell by the white tree of Gondor. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm open to suggestions. I want people who watch my videos to actually feel free to throw things out. The only suggestion that you cannot make is to suggest that my trail name be Jelly Roll, because that is a no-go, people. I'm sorry. Jelly Roll is a no-go. I don't like being called Jelly Roll. Sorry. It's been going on now for a couple years. I didn't know who Jelly Roll was before 2022. Then that's when some girl named Nicole that I met on a bus in Harrisonburg, Virginia, called me Jelly Roll, and I found out who he was, and I just don't like it. Nope. No, sir. I don't like it. So, Jelly Roll's a no-go. As of right now, my name is Jason. So, the trail name is going to come on the trail, but it's definitely just not going to be Jelly Roll. Sorry to break anybody's hearts and burst anybody's bubbles. So, but I want people to watch these videos. Feel free to make any suggestions on the gear, equipment, exercises, dietary tips, anything. I'm very much open to suggestion. This is a journey not just for me, but for a lot of other people. I want this to be like an exploratory journey for people that are bigger, that have mental health issues too, people that feel lost in their lives, because that's where I'm at. I feel extremely lost. So I want this to be a collaborative effort for a lot of people, and I want people to have fun and enjoy themselves. I want to start adding music to this. Gonna warn you guys, I listen to some metal. And it's not the tickle me metal. It's the kind of heavier stuff. I was walking through Kroger this morning. I was listening to Strappy Young Lad. And I turned some heads because I was singing that song Love. And they were like, what's going on? So, oh my God. All right. Today, I'm about to head up to the gym. I'm going to do 2 miles on the treadmill with an incline adjuster, and I'm going to lift some weights. I might capture some video doing that. I might not. I don't know. I don't know how to edit videos yet. But I'm going to try. I promise. But thanks for watching. Like it. Leave a comment. I don't know what you guys want to do. It's up to you. Peace.